Photo, Brian M. Kelly, Getty. Bronco Mendenhall had a lot of work to do when he was hired as UVA head coach, just in rebuilding the roster. Ahead of his third season and second full recruiting cycle, Mendenhall has turned the roster over, accounted for attrition, and has begun layering the depth by position by class. Work isn't done, but it's a strong start in terms of roster management. Let's take a closer look. Quarterbacks: Bryce Perkins, Jr., January enrollee, graduate transfer; Lindell Stone, sophomore; Brennan Armstrong, freshman, January enrollee. Virginia has 3 scholarships quarterbacks on the roster. UVA also has Texas transfer Matthew Merrick on the roster. Merrick is a walk-on at this point. Offensive lineman Jake Feeler, senior; Ryan Biscoff, Jr., R.J. Proctor, Jr., Chris Glazer, sophomore; Dylan Rinkensmeyer, sophomore; Tyler Fannin, redshirt freshman; Bobby Haskins, freshman, January enrollee; Brian Nelson, redshirt freshman; Ryan Swoboda, redshirt freshman; Jarek Vollmer, redshirt freshman; incoming freshman, Joseph Bissinger, Derek Devine, Micah Maritaragi, Martin Weiss, incoming transfer, Marcus Applefield, senior, immediately eligible. Virginia projects to begin fall training camp in August with 15 scholarship offensive linemen as things stand now. Running backs: Jordan Ellis, senior; Chris Sharp, Jr., Lamont Atkins, sophomore; P.K. Keir, sophomore; Jamari Peacock, sophomore; incoming freshman, Wayne Talapapa. Virginia currently projects to open fall training camp with 6 running backs on the roster. Wide receivers: Ben Hugg, senior; Olamide Zacchaeus, senior; Hassize Dubois, Jr., Joe Reed, Jr., Cole Blackman, sophomore; Devante Cross, sophomore; Terrell Jana, sophomore; Darnell Pratt, redshirt freshman; Sean Smith, redshirt freshman; incoming freshman, Tavares Kelly, Billy Kemp, Ugo Obasi, Uba Theoric. Virginia projects to open fall camp with 13 scholarship wide receivers on the roster. Tight ends: Evan Butts, senior; Tanner Cowley, Jr. Virginia projects to open fall camp with 2 scholarship tight ends on the roster. Total number of scholarships on the offensive side of the ball: 39. Defensive linemen: Richard Burney, Jr., Eli Hanback, Jr., James Trusilla, Jr., Mandy Alonso, sophomore; Osiris Crutchfield, sophomore; John Curvin, sophomore; Isaac Buell, redshirt freshman; Tommy Christ, redshirt freshman; incoming freshman, Aaron Felmy, Samson Reed, Jordan Redmond, incoming transfer, Dylan Thompson, senior, graduate transfer. Virginia projects to open fall training camp with 12 scholarship defensive linemen on the roster. Linebackers: Malcolm Cook, senior; Chris Peace, senior; C.J. Stalker, senior; Jordan Mack, Jr., Vladimir Paul, Jr., Dominic Shepard, Jr., Elliott Brown, sophomore; Matt Gamm, sophomore; Charles Snowden, sophomore; Robert Snyder, sophomore; Zane Zandier, sophomore; incoming freshman, Javauer Garrett, T.C. Harrison, Grant Mish. Virginia projects to open fall training camp with 14 scholarship linebackers. Defensive backs: Tim Harris, senior; Darius Law-T-Moore, senior; Juan Thornhill, senior; Bryce Hall, Jr., Chris Moore, Jr., Joey Blunt, sophomore; Darius Breton, sophomore; Nick Grant, sophomore; Brenton Nelson, sophomore; Zachariah Burton, redshirt freshman; Jermaine Crowell, redshirt freshman; Noah Taylor, freshman, currently at safety, could move back to LB. Incoming freshman, Jalen Baker, Joseph White. Virginia projects to open fall training camp with 14 scholarship defensive backs on the roster, although we're hearing that Law-T-Moore may decide to complete his degree this spring and not return for the season. We expect the number to stay at 14, however. Miles Robinson is expected to return for the 2018 season. Total number of scholarships on the defensive side of the ball: 40. Special teams: Lester Coleman, senior; Brian Delaney, sophomore; incoming freshman, Hunter Pearson. Total number of scholarships on special teams: 3. Adding it all up, Virginia projects to open fall training camp with 82 scholarship players. Of the NCAA allowed 85. There are just 14 seniors currently on the roster. With 3 open scholarships by our count currently, that leaves 17 roster spots for the 2019 recruiting class and transfers, assuming no roster attrition. Factoring that in, we fully expect UVA to look to add at least 23 new incoming counters in 2019. Virginia currently has 5 commitments in the 2019 class.